starting off with my eyelids already primed and set, but I did want to just set them one more time just to make it easier to blend, so I'm taking Tempera, which is just a skin tone color, and putting that on my lid will make everything blend out easier. Then I'm taking Golden Ochre, which is the next warm shade. This is a really nice transition color, and it is so buttery and blendable, so I'm just swirling that on my crease area, on my lid, a little bit above my crease, just so we get that nice faded effect for this cut crease. The next shade I'm picking up is Burnt Orange, and with a little bit more tapered pointed brush, I'm just going to put that directly on top of Golden Ochre just to start building up that crease. I love going in with orange shades. I don't know what it is, but warm tones and warm shadows are just one of my favorite things to use. So I'm just going in with that and just blending it out. Just so you guys know, I did spend a lot of time blending, so I do go back in with the brush I started with and just make sure I clean up all the harsh lines and make sure everything is blended out. So picking up the next shade, which is Love Letter, it's a really nice deep fuchsia color. I'm putting this with an even more pointed, tapered, smaller brush, just directly in the crease area, just blending it in, and then I will go back in with another bigger brush and blend that out softly. You want to keep these colors in the crease very low because when you do blend it, it does kind of go up to your eyebrow, so just kind of keep it low and then blend it out as you go. Once you have your desired intensity in that crease area, I am picking up the Naked Skin Concealer, and I am so mad that I wasn't recording when I started to put this on my eyes, but trust me, I just was slowly putting it on and creating that cut crease. I kept it very low so you could still see the color in my crease area, but I'm just giving a nice blank canvas for some shimmery shadows I'm going in with later. This shade is called Vermeer, and I mixed Vermeer and Primavera. I hope I'm saying that right, but I literally just swirled my finger in both of those shades and patted it onto the concealer, and because that concealer wasn't dry yet, it was a nice base and it made the shadow stick on and kind of intensify it a little bit. So I just packed it on with my finger because that's how I thought I would get the most, pigmentation, but I do go in with a little smaller brush to hit those nice clean edges and just make sure everything looks nice and clean. I'm going in with the Wet n Wild Mega Liner, and I do think this is a new packaging and new applicator. I don't know if it's a new formula, but I went ahead and left in like all of my mistakes just because liquid liner is hard, and I wanted to show you guys my little tricks and tips to kind of make it more perfect. So I do take a Q-tip and I lick it. I know that's just like a little weird, but I just clean up my line and just kind of fix it as I go. That's really all you can do with liquid eyeliner. But you just have to be patient, practice makes perfect. So for mascara, I am going in with the Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara, and I usually start on the tops of my top eyelashes and really kind of coat the crap out of them. This is really just going to tame them and make sure that they are all cooperating, and then when I go underneath the top lashes, they just seem to cooperate a lot better and look a lot more smooth. And that's always kind of been my way of applying mascara. It's always kind of worked for me. I'm going in with Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade 120, and I'm putting this on with a damp beauty blender, and I'm just buffing that into the skin. I do love the beauty blender to blend out any foundation, any products, just because it looks a lot more flawless than just a regular brush. It does take away product though, so just keep that in mind. So for concealer, I'm using the Naked Skin Coverage Weightless Concealer by Urban Decay, and this is in the shade Light Warm. This is a little bit too light, but I'm making it work. If I had gone in with Light Neutral, that is a lot of a better shade for my skin tone. I am just putting this underneath my eyes, forehead, nose, chin, just to kind of even everything out. Directly after I have applied my concealer, I don't want to give it any time to crease, so I'm dipping my damp beauty blender in some Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I am putting this directly under my eyes, and I am going to be baking under there. That just means I'm putting in an excess amount of powder and just going to be leaving it there for about 10 minutes or so, just to really set that concealer in place. So for the rest of my face, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me powder, and I'm just setting that with a big powder brush. And then I went ahead and took the Becca and Jaclyn Hill face palette, one of my absolute favorites, and I'm taking this middle shade here, and I thought this would be a really pretty shade to kind of contour with, but it did kind of just end up looking like a blush, but I just went ahead and went with it. After I blended it out, it ended up looking a lot better than I thought it would at this point in time, because I was like, oh my gosh, that is very pink. So I do go in and blend it out. Blending is so important, and I really never skip that step. So for an actual contour shade, I'm going to take the Wet n Wild contour palette in the shade Dulce de Leche, and you can see I've used this product up. I absolutely love it. It's from Walgreens, Walmart, anywhere, the drugstore, and it's so pretty. So I'm just hitting my temples, my cheekbones, and definitely underneath my chin area. I like to shade that in because it blends my foundation to my neck and also kind of gives the illusion that I don't have an at-risk chin going on. So I decided to do a little light contour on my nose. I usually do a more harsh contour, but I decided to just kind of try this out and see how I like it, just because I feel like I have a lot of correcting I like to do on my nose. So I just went ahead and lightly contoured. And then I'm taking this brush by Morphe, I'll have it linked down below. I am just dusting away all the excess powder we used to bake. And then with that powder on that brush still, I'm just blending out my nose contour. For blush, I'm taking this peach copper. This is not a copper shade, this is a coral shade. I'm just going to be hitting the high points of my cheek area. And I did put a little bit on, a little bit too much on, but you know, blending always fixes most products, especially if they are very blendable. So after I blended it out, I really liked the pigmentation it gave off. So for highlight, I am taking the two bottom highlight shades. One is Champagne Pop and the other is Prosecco Pop. I have been a die-hard fan of Prosecco Pop ever since it came out. It is so perfect for my skin tone. It is just the prettiest glow. And I guess I put too much on my Cupid's bow because I was putting it on. It just gave me a highlight sneeze. And I thought that was so funny. I got a highlight sneeze. So I'm going back to my eyes now that I have all of my foundation on. And I am picking up the shade Love Letter once again. This is that really pretty fuchsia shade. And I am just smoking that underneath my lower lash line and right underneath my wing. This is really going to just create that smoky, blended out effect, and it's really going to make this look blown out. For the inner corner, I am taking the shade Vermeer, and I'm just putting that on my little tear duct. I do hit my Cupid's bow just to give it that little extra glow and intense. And then I do hit my brow bone. I love the shade as a brow bone highlight. I might even go back to that palette just for this shade sometimes because that brow bone highlight is perfect. I did give you guys two lip options today. One is a more bold pink. This is a lippy stick by ColourPop in the shade Lumiere. I think it really matches that cut crease Love Letter shade. And if you are just out for the night, a really romantic, pretty lip color, this is perfect for you. But if you're wearing this in the daytime like I was, I wanted something a little bit more nude and wearable. So I went ahead and picked up the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade Stripped. It's kind of like your lip color but better nude. I love this. This is one of my favorite lipsticks ever, and just really made the look more wearable to me, even though this is really kind of bold. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and that's it. I'll see you later.
jack it up.